Time, I didn't say a time. Time now is 9 minutes.
Yeah, but the time of 100 metres is...
I've got to talk about Blur.
OK.
Got to talk about Blur, because 30 years in the business, Blur, right? So, Park Life, Country House, Girls and Boys, great singles, and Blur became one of the biggest British bands of the last 30 years.
Yeah, they were part, really, of an amazing time in British music, weren't they? And their history is interesting over the years. Colin Patterson has been catching up the band to reminisce a little.
Forget Park Life, this is Stadium Life. To the End is a behind-the-scenes look at Blur getting ready for last summer's shows at Wembley.
Good evening, Wembley. We've been waiting for this moment all our lives.
The band reuniting after an 8-year hiatus.
This is the view you got on stage at Wembley. It's impressive.
Well, sure, it's Wembley, sold out Wembley, isn't it?
What memories does that bring back?
Well, it's more like a dream now, to be honest with you.
I've been going around the world saying the thing about Wembley is it's actually quite a small footprint just built around the football pitch and isn't much bigger, so you can actually see the smiles on people's faces. Just looking at that, I've been lying. You can't.
A couple of them are actually here tonight. I don't know how they manage it or why they care, but something's happened in their minds.
Ours is a brotherhood that has been sustained by our musical relationship.
I hope I've made the rest of the band proud.
Blur gave us their only interview about the film ahead of a special screening.
Bang on, sir. Thank you.
And they all agreed Damon should do his part separately to stop him hogging things.
Damon, Wembley. Why did it mean so much to you to play Wembley Stadium?
Well, we've never played it before. We didn't really intend to play it again. It wasn't like part of a tour where we were playing lots of stadiums.
It was the best show we've ever done.
I mean, in as much as 90,000 people can feel exclusive, it was an exclusive thing. It wasn't... only the people, the 2 nights who went there would have experienced that. We didn't replicate it anywhere else.
I remember getting in the van and texting the tour manager saying we're on our way to Wembley, and it's and I was like, oh yeah, and I started singing it, and I was with the kids, and they were like, shut up, Dad, and then we came into view, see those fabled arches, and you know it's monumental. It is actually a monument. It's so emblematic, and I went quiet at that point, and then that's when the kids started singing.
When you come off stage, you go, that was as good as it gets. You look ecstatic.
Yeah, there's a bit of kind of sort of sadness to that, because there's literally, that's as good as it gets. I don't think it will ever get as good as that again, you know, maybe, or maybe not. I mean, who knows?
Is that difficult to deal with?
No, not really. I'll just go and do something else. I'm quite good at walking away from things, you know, while still holding them in my heart.
The fact that we haven't always got on is one of the chemistry points that has led to us being able to make the music we do.
And why the decision to let a documentary crew follow you through the whole way?
Well, they always say, don't worry, at the end of day 1, you won't even notice we're here. And then day 7, they're shoving their cameras right in your face. They say that again, say that again. So, yeah, you always regret it about halfway through.
Yeah, it's sort of hard sometimes when you're just in the middle of a gruelling rehearsal and you're in a bad mood and your finger ends are killing you because you've been playing for 6 hours, and can we just do a half an hour's interview, a little bit of a chat? And then you're like, But I think there's a lot of decent paddies. I think there's all of the emotional food groups in there, and I think we all have a few our moments. Oh, thanks, you're my favourite.
Time is not infinite. It's a weird thing when you go back to something that was so well documented. People feel like that's what you are, but it's so long ago.
A large part of the film is about ageing and mortality. So are you thinking about it a lot more now?
Only in the sense of anyone who's my age would think about that, you know. I mean, it's like, yeah, because I mean, you know, you have parents, if you're lucky enough at my age to still have your parents, but they're getting very old. You know, you've got kids, they're getting older. You know, it's a mad time, really. They call it Sniper's Alley, don't they, in the 50s?
Bob Dylan announced this week he's going to be playing the UK at the age of 83.
Yeah, of course.
Is that something you aspire to? Do you hope to still be touring?
I work with musicians who are virtually that age.
Will you be?
Will I be?
Yeah.
Well, I'd love to be. I really, really would love to be. So, I mean, we'll wait and see, won't we?
He's banned mobile phones for the gig. You've got to put them in a holder.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not... Oh, God, if you start banning things, I mean, where does it end, you know? I think you've just got to just turn up and do your thing, and, you know, people won't want to be on their phone if you're engaging with them.
In the film Park Life, you get Phil Daniels back. Have you heard Robbie Williams brought on Danny Dyer in Hyde Park?
Confidence is a preference for the habitual voyeur of what is known as Park Life.
I fell in love with Danny Dyer really after his Who Do You Think You Are, which was the best one ever. I mean, really, it was a true revelation that he was a member of the royal family. For him and everybody watching it, it's a compliment, isn't it? I think. Well, I mean, he's definitely from the East End.
Yeah.
You know, he's a Cockney, so and we're all Cockneys. So I mean, it's good. It's a song for us. Then it's good. I hope everyone has their own version of it.
Success will mess you up far more than failure. Is this going to work or not?
The film is called To the End. Where are we with Blur?
Well, we're definitely at the end of another chapter.
Give it 8 years or so again, you might be back.
I mean, 8 years. Okay, all right. No, I'm not going to say 8 or 1 or 20. It's the end of a chapter.
Colin Patterson,